venues like the Rashtrapati Bhavan and the Royal Albert Hall as well, and the museum that she just performed, Victoria and Albert Museum. I've just seen her grow from, I think, rather shy girl to just growing as a musician. As a musician, I think she's very fierce and strong and courageous, and I've just seen her career grow. She's always been learning and growing, but at the same time has a great heart to give of her time and talent by teaching other children as well in the center that she teaches, right?
Teach for India, for teach.
So it's so wonderful. And she's from Chennai. So we have another person who's also from Chennai. I don't know what's to do with the wonderful city of Chennai that they are bringing up such prodigies. So I'm going to invite Palak and her mother to go up first. And then, Hina, thank you so much. Then Lydian. And is a role model for a lot of young aspiring musicians, pianists all over the world, and we are so glad that he's here with his entire family. But Lydian, I'm going to invite you, along with your father Varshan, to please take your time on stage right now.
He defends everything. So the love we have for our children, from the day one, the care, it gives everything. It gives everything. Being an average musician, myself, I'm a music lover. I want my children to grow as a good human first. And so I don't want to wake them up from the bed initially, so they don't go to school. So everything happened very well with the love of I show. Obviously my wife and myself. And what to say, the Divine has blessed us with such music, and we feel very responsible for the current generation and the next generation to give good music and to be an inspiration for everyone. That's it, everything happened with the Divine's blessings.
We'll have more questions to follow, but I'm going to take your time.
Hi, I belong to a typical Marwadi business family, and music was nowhere choice. But yes, my entire family is fond of music, inclined towards music, and hence, yeah, I mean, I put her to one of the piano classes and to come from there.
Alright, so the choices you made deliberately as a family, when I was asking about family culture, I think all parents love their children, but we have not always cracked the way in which we want to nurture it and also make the decisions, when to force, when not to force, when to push and when to not do that. So how did you maintain that balance?
It's not about nurturing or having a big aim that my children should become a world-class musician. It's all about, again, I'm coming with the love what we have for the children. They should grow healthy. Even now, I don't think that we are in that level of whatever people say. Still, he says that he's a learner. It's all about learning, and the love we have for the music, not only for the children, towards everything, the love for everyone sitting here. So it all means a lot for us, and we are so happy. Personally, I'm doing whatever I thought that I should become as a music composer or whatever it is. I could see everything as a reflection in my children, both my son and daughter. And they are very responsible children, very, very disciplined. So more than musicians, I respect them for their discipline. Everything is in that answer.
What do you
For me, it's just one simple thing. You do what you love. And if you do that, you don't need anybody to push you. So you will feel responsible, you will get disciplined, and you will do it because you love it. That's all. So there's no pushing, there is no forcing, there is no like, okay, go do your practice.
Okay, so how much did she practice when she started going up taking piano lessons?
Initially, it was about 1 hour.
Okay.
Initially.
And
It was
now-
when she was 5 years old.
5 years old, she practiced 1
4
hour.
and a half.
Okay.
And then it gradually increased.
And
And
now-
it's not that I have to tell her. And now it's like, okay, till her hands, okay, she's on the piano.
Alright.
Yeah.
How was your journey, Lydian? Who was your first teacher, first of all? And how did you start thinking the way you did and responding with the music and rhythm and things that were coming out of you? How did you go about with all of those things?
First of all, good afternoon, Mama. So happy to be here. My journey started long before I can remember because. yeah. When I was 2 years old, I started my career as a drummer. In piano, I'm playing piano for the past 10 years. And before that, I was a drummer. And I play 35 other instruments too. And it's all an interest and passion for music, I would say. And as I'm not going to school, I get to explore and learn more instruments, explore more genres, and just keep up with myself and learn more things. I always like to stay alone, and that's the best for a musician, I think so. I know that you feel it should go up to your head. So just trying my best, and I love to compose, and I just want to give good music to the next generation and the current generation. So that's all I'm working for. That's all I'm about. So hopefully this continues.
What do you do? What's your normal day like? You say it loudly and slowly, okay? Your normal day,
It's unpredictable actually. So my normal day morning, of course, I wake up at whatever time I wake up because my parents doesn't wake me up from sleep. So that's the biggest blessing I have. And so I wake up and just have a normal day. Spend my full day in music. So that's the thing about I play piano, I compose. Now I'm more into my creative side. I'm composing myself and my sister are doing a 3,000-year-old drama project called Tirukural. And we're collaborating with 1,000 singers. So for the past 1 year, that project is going on. And I'm working on my Indian fusion album. So a day is not complete without me being in music. You know, for the past 19 years of my life, I've completely been in music. And for the rest of my life, I will be in music for sure. So even if you go out or do something else, it's a day is filled with music actually. So that's what my day is.
when was the first time you played the drums first, you said? You learned the drums. So when was that? The first time you held or you started playing an instrument?
When I was 18 months old, on my sister's birthday, she got a gift, a dress and a xylophone. So I took the xylophone sticks and placed the dress balls on the floor and played like a triplet pattern, like you know. And fortunately, my dad took a video of that and now it's on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. So he used to say that I was playing that for more than 40 minutes. Yeah. So more than 40 minutes to 1 hour. And it was a proper quantized and had a proper bass to it and feel and dynamics. So what my dad did is the next day itself he bought me a baby-sized drum kit. So from there my journey started. Yeah. But I don't remember that now, but when I see the video I can recall it.
It's there, huh?
It's there.
Right, we're all going to check that out as well. Also incubation from 18 months. Oh, thank you so much. Now we all feel so good. How about you, Palak? Your journey and your love for piano, how did it begin? Was it just natural or did it take step by step?
I feel my journey was gradual. Like my mom took me to piano classes when I was 4.5, 5. And then when I joined KM, my first piano recital there, be it a sad song or an angry piece or a very strong piece. So music is like my best friend.
And it is wonderful. Thank you for saying that. Is there anyone? I know there are a lot of you here who may want to ask some questions or have thought of some questions in your head. This is such a wonderful, intimate setting. So I would like to ask if there's anyone, is there a question you want to ask either of any of them that are here? Yes,
Dividing your time to practice various instruments. You said you practice 35 instruments or so. And so how do you divide your time, like practicing these instruments? And do you need to focus on any one instrument? These are my questions. Thank you.
The thing is, as I have a whole day in my hands, it's completely up to me. So, I think that's the answer. If I want to play drums, I play. If I want to play piano, I play. There's no restrictions. So it's all up to me. If I want to play that for half an hour, or sometimes I play for a whole day. So I can divide my time into one instrument one day, so it makes a month. So it's not like that. But now as I move into composing, I don't get time to play much instruments. But whenever I can, I just go and play. Just cools me down, relaxes me, and boosts my energy.
That's how he plays, I think. We grew up playing, doing this, doing that, but I guess his playtime is doing music all day long, right?
Absolutely.
Any more questions, please?
This is for Lydian. When you were 10, how long in a day would you practice?
That kind of thing. And my parents sent me to school just to get to know what school is and how life is like that. And we went there and we really enjoyed. We made good friends. But one day I said to my mom and dad that I want to do music, I want to go to school. So it's not their choice, it's completely our choice, and they respect that. And that's the biggest blessing we have. And we don't miss that lifestyle anymore too. So,
No, that's very interesting. I trust this gift. Trust our child and do this because it's revolutionary actually.
It's not I'm sorry. It's not a bold decision or whatever. I see things very simple as how it is. I don't see it like this or I don't see it like this. So it's my nature, maybe I don't know mine. But I have confidence that I can take care of my children till I get old. Like 100 years or 90 years, I can take care of them. They did not have to earn anything. I thought that. So what is that bold decision? Nothing is there. I can take care. I can show love. I can show what life is. I can take care of the world. I have confidence in me and my earnings or my way of life. Still I can do, but I don't want to do now because they are very young and people will see at them. They won't look at me. But still, if they retire, I can take again, restart life. That is the only decision I have, boldness, what I have. But now it turned into confidence because they are very disciplined from the day one. They won't cry, they won't disturb anyone. Even while bathing, I haven't seen my children cry. That is a blessing, what I said in my first answer, that is this divine blessing. So we are born for some reason. We can't compare with anyone. I'm not exaggerating. Everyone has their own way of life. I can't tell everyone to follow my footsteps or whatever. It worked out in my life. That may not work in their life. They have to go to school, they have a different vision for life. I can't pull everyone. So nothing more decision. They will grow, they have grown very well, and they will maintain this space. They will be very responsible, and their names will be marked in the history. Until the planet exists, people will tell its name for something.
Of learning music through different academies and institutes. Both have its own pros and cons. Being a parent who has a central knowledge of music, We were also doing homeschooling for the very specific reason because my son picked up percussion, piano, and bass. I love it. But you need to give some time, a lot more time in initial times, just to get to play with it, become a part. My question is that when you have done this for like 4 or 5 years, then how you will make a decision whether you really want to go to a structured, institutional-based learning or self-taught learning? We may have great rock stars for self-taught, we also have great rock stars for institutes learning. So anyone, I mean parents or other
For others, like how it is about dance. There's a lot of benefits in following master's method, but it doesn't, you should not adopt fully to him, or else you lose your originality. Taking hints from him, taking pointers and learning from him and applying that to your style and creating a new style out of it, that shows your uniqueness. So that has, this concept has self-taught and also a structural teaching into it. So I think I follow that, and it's my humble opinion that everyone can follow that too, because then you get a unique tone and a unique personality out of a musician. So I think that's my answer.
Even if you're learning from a master, the master teaches 10 to 20 students, but not every student will be the same as the other. So I think it's a life experience of the student, what he's seen, what he's felt all these years, which eventually comes out through music, be it drums, be it piano, whatever instrument, be it making his own music. So a master teaches every student equally, but one student, 2 students stand out, and every student plays it differently. So I guess it's it's like academic and your life experience.
I feel like, suppose your teacher is teaching you something, and if you follow everything, like of course you should follow your teacher, but you need to add your own touch. You need to make, he'll teach the same thing to everyone, but everyone will be different, everyone will play differently, and in the end, you should be satisfied with what you play. You should enjoy yourself and you should be happy with what you play. So, you should learn whatever the teacher teaches you, and you should also be satisfied playing.
Yes, I think what they're also trying to say is that there is structure to music. Structure, whether you learn it formally or not. There's structure to rhythm patterns, to how melody flows. There's pauses and climax and expressions and all of those things. Those things are felt, understood, and the voicing, your own voice coming out when you play that particular piece or song has to be your own voice at the end after you have mastered, or I can say learned those things. Because when you say you play your own way, it doesn't mean that you just randomly play anything that doesn't fit into rhythmic patterns or different things like that. But it's understanding those things and at the same time finding your own element of expression that needs to stand out. Okay, how about another? I think there's ladies, where the mic?
Hi, my question is specifically to Palak. As a fellow pianist as well, I understand you must have taken a long journey. A lot of hard work is going to get to where you are. I wanted to ask you, have you ever faced any challenges in your musical career? And if you ever have, how have you gone about it, overcome those challenges?
But there was one time I was in a competition in Bangalore, and I knew I was playing well, and suddenly in one piece I just blanked out and I stopped. So that I couldn't manage, and somewhere I feel if I hadn't stopped, I probably would have won, but it's a lesson learned again. So if probably I made a blemish or I just stop. That's it. Manage and just continue.
There's many parents here who are hoping that your parents will give us some amazing answer for what we should not be doing. But I think they just be very modest and they just be we've been blessed and it's all great. So let me ask you guys, what did you think? When you look back at your journey through music, just loving it as well as taking it more seriously, what do you think, in your environment, in your family, what do you think were the great things? What do you think were the things that maybe were difficult when they were doing them, but now in retrospect seem like they helped you? Or what are the things that you felt could have been different? So what did you appreciate about your environment?
I wouldn't have reached so far because without my mother and my gurus. So all the back end work, that's my mom does it. Be it looking for competitions or looking for festivals or just making my portfolio, everything. So that, I cannot be more grateful to her. I am because of her and my gurus. So I'm very blessed to have a family like this and my gurus.
Just like Father said, without them, I couldn't have done this. They created this amazing comfort zone for me. Suffering. Musically faced a lot of challenges and we're learning and things are doing that, but they don't let me suffer anymore. So I think that's a great thing, and that really helped me to come up. There's still a long way to go, just the basement, so I have to overcome.
After say 21, will they be able to financially support them? That's the biggest question. When you put your child to any of these parallel verticals like arts or music, dance, anything apart from the formal education like MBS or engineering. But we should understand one thing. To be a doctor, it takes so many years. We just neglect that. The number of years to become a doctor is probably 20 years of study, if I'm not wrong. These guys have been they're 15 now, 19, about it's just because we trust in them. We give them the freedom, okay, just do it. And of course, they need time to practice. If we are forcing them with some homework and academics is training, for sure. And when you send your child to school, you expect him to get 75 at least. So that has to study, has to put in time. And then you expect him to do this as well. That's so unfair for the child. Very unfair. So you let him loose. Of course, it's not that don't send them to school, but you give them a little liberty. Okay, 15 is fine, 16 is fine. If you want to do this. Kind of just balance that off. Don't pressure the child. You want to do this also, you got to do this also. There are very few kids will do everything. Very few kids. So I guess it's just that support that they need. And it's basically like trust in them, give them time. I think, the world is not with, okay, you have a degree or a negative. No, it's not that anymore. You've got the skill, you've got the talent. Maybe 10 years later, but you will shine.
So there must have been some phases where you must have had interest loss.
So I don't know where, but yes. So I guess they didn't have interest loss, right?
Never.
Yes, right.
You play so many instruments like dance and piano. Which one is your favorite instrument?
That's but drums still holds a very big portion in my heart because that was my first instrument. But when it comes to piano, it's a mixture of everything. As I do downstairs or upstairs, I don't know where I go upstairs. That piano is a string percussion instrument. So when you play piano, it helps your melodic skills improve and your rhythmic skills improve, your composing skills. It's a complete instrument. So I would say piano is my favorite.
He's a going to perform tomorrow, you have to be there. And Lydian, I was just curious, when you, because you're a composer now, I mean, I'm sure you're already composing at that 18 months when we're doing that, because nobody ever taught you that rhythmic pattern, right? So, how do you, when you are composing, how do you see music? Do you see it in color? Do you see it in mood? You know, what is the primary thrust of how you digest music?
I think that's inexplicable for any composer to say. You know, if someone says this color, some experienced composer says that this color, or you think of the notes, I think that's just fake. You know, you're just giving it giving it a structure just for the sake of answer. But everything comes from here. It's magical actually, that process. So if you ask for any composer, like I'm not saying that I'm an amateur or a Bach or Beethoven, but to my knowledge, I know a little bit of composing compared to them. In that itself, I can feel that something is coming out and I'm just playing it. So I don't get any colors or anything like that. So it's just a natural, beautiful process that happens. That is just simply inexplicable. So that's beautiful. And it's godly, divine.
So you just breathe in and breathe out.
It's just like natural. So when you have that move, you just need to be concentrated and disciplined and dedicated to whatever you do. So if you just sit, and the key is patience. So if you don't have patience, they're always just, you know, there won't be any soulful compositions coming out of it. So just relax.
Right. So you can believe in yourself.
Yes. My question is for Lydian. What did that journey look like, and what would be your guidance for folks aspiring to go towards that? What's the good point to start, or how do you get it?
If you want to do something, yes, I think I'm going to say that. Because when you think about that, you will have so many questions popping up into your head, like how can I do this, how can I do that, financially, all that things, you know. Just like something, go ahead and do it. And that will create a beautiful vision in life.
But how do you see yourself first starting from music and now the composing side of it?
So, music is my destination. And composing, playing instruments, all those are, the transport. So, my destination is music and I can take whichever way. So that's the thing. So, it's all part of the process. But the destination is music.
Any more? How do you dream? I mean, when you dream, that is a very different question. Do you wake up with melodies and all that sometimes, so playing music? Both of you, anyone? Yeah, go ahead.
I get the most weirdest dreams of me going in flight for 2 seconds and then going in trains. I'm just a normal guy, so none of this happens, but 1 or 2 times I just got from my sleep and then recorded something, my voice memos, which I actually made a full song and used it in my album, which I haven't told my parents about this actually. so just 2 to 3 times, but I just get normal dreams.
I guess I did get a musical dream or something, but the thing is, I always forget what I dreamed. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I dream and then afterwards, I don't remember.
That's alright. No, I think the point of that question was sometimes people get inspired to hear people that are highly creative, whether it's in writing or painting or music, how sometimes inspirations come randomly. And the stewardship of that, taking hold of what's already given to you when you talk about music being divine or it's inspiring and it comes to you. A lot of people don't just say it just came to me, the music just came to me, and maybe many of us have learned earlier, like any part of it that later on you're like, okay, man, if I do this piece of this would have solved a lot of things. I'm asking from an educator's point of view and from the perspective of someone that tried to get classical music through mostly playing by ear and studied out with sheet music. So
curious about your learning process.
I can play by ear, but mostly I use a sheet music, of course, Western classical music. So, what was the second question?
Was there anything in your learning process?
Maybe there's something called set right in place at the right time. So I don't think I have an answer for that.
I have the same answer. But during my early stages of learning piano or any other instrument, I used to pick it up by ear because I have this sense called perfect pitch. So I'm not proud about that, it's just a normal thing. So having that, I'm able to find notes very easily than sight reading. But now I also learn sight reading and I write scores with compose. So it works both the ways for me. Song or compose music or in a process of something, to finish something, the main key is patience. Of course, everyone knows that. We don't want to rush into that because the output may be different if you have tried slower. So, and then perseverance, if I don't get something, just keep on trying that. And for example, a few years back, I couldn't reach an octave in piano. And I used to lift up my wrists like this and use my fourth finger. And people used to criticize me for that. And then people say that he would break his wrist. He's playing completely the wrong method and disagree. It's a lot of things. But after a point of time, people started to add my style and they use this little finger as an extra. It's like a bonus for another note. So it really became a huge advantage. And that came because of this perseverance, because I tried, and I finally got it. And a few people followed it and being very happy about that. So, and also discipline, I think that's the most important thing more than anything. So discipline, if you have discipline, you can achieve anything. So sky's the limit. But if you want to achieve that limit, I think discipline is the main key.
Yeah, exactly. I feel discipline is very important. Like, be it any instrument, anything. If you don't practice your instrument for a few days, the instrument knows. Like, you cannot fool the instrument. And discipline is very important and patience. Yeah, it can be a simple passage of music. Maybe you're not getting it. So maybe you're practicing 10 times, 20 times, you're not getting it. But eventually you will, if you practice the right way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you. Such a wonderful group of individuals that, truly inspired, made a change, not only in your space, but across your states to all of us, and really inspiring as well. Thank you for that. So it is not just love and passion, but at the end we got the real tablet, the medicine is discipline, and with discipline persevering, not the amount of time of practice alone, but persevering until you get what you need to do, or till you like what you're playing. You also have to like, and so it takes you 3 days to get to the point of where you're going to like what you're playing. I guess that's the thing. It's not just 2 hours here or 10 hours here. So thank you so much, dear families, and thank you so much. Yes.